afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I'm Amanda. I'll be teaching you some yoga today. So let's start with our toes tucked under. We're going to sit on our knees, toes tucked under. So in case you can't tell, not with the toes pointed, you're going to sit back. Spread through the toes and see if you can settle in. So all your weight is going to be in your toes. Your sitting bones are touching the heels, or working to be. And breathe. So I did CrossFit yesterday, guys. This is going to be interesting. So I'm going to take it a little slower than usual, probably, because I'm super sore. And I love doing stuff like that because it always reminds me of different poses, different places that I don't remember when I'm always practicing yoga. So I'll remind you of that too today. So we're going to just cultivate that Ujjayi breath. Close your eyes. If this is painful, I know, trust me, I'm feeling it too. See if you can just settle in and soften and breathe. And if you have to come out of it, just come out of it for a few breaths and then try to go back. We're only here for 2 more breaths. So anytime we start our yoga practice, I usually like to start with the feet, because if we can't open up our feet, we're not going to be able to open up our hips or anything else. It starts with our feet. It's our foundation. Go ahead and come forward. Point and flex the feet. Maybe tap out the tops of the feet. Circle the ankles, wiggle the toes. Just kind of let that go. And then we're going to counter. So sitting on the tops of the feet, probably what you wanted to do naturally the first time. So your toes are pointed. Instead of letting your heels, they kind of try to sickle out. See if you can keep your heels rolling in towards one another. So your feet are going to stay square. And again, you can sit back on your feet. If this isn't enough of a stretch in your shins and the top of the feet, then you'll either lean over and lift one knee at a time, or you can bring your hands to either side of the legs and lift both knees. I'm going to go ahead with one today because I'm feeling it. So breathe. Keep lifting up that knee. And then go ahead and switch. So this is a weird spot. It's a weird place to try to get a stretch, the top of the shin. It's a really nice opportunity to get into that area. So enjoy it. Breathe. Good. Slowly lower. And then walk the hands forward. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips for down dog. And just kind of pedal out the feet. So bend the right knee, sink the left heel. Lift the hips up and back. And then switch. And just kind of pedaling out the feet as fast or slow as you like. And then come to stillness in your down dog. So turn the heels out. See if you can sink the heels so much that you're able to lift your toes. Maybe this first one, that's not going to happen. We'll come back to that. Exhale, reach back out of the shoulders. And then slowly walk the hands towards the feet. Coming to the back of the mat. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Bend the knees for this first forward fold. Exhale, fold. So why do I like to bend the knees? Most of the time, most bodies, when you straighten the legs, your back kind of rounds and you're really far away, right? This is kind of what I feel like today. So it's stretching my hamstrings, but it's also rounding my spine. So see if you can bend your knees. Try to lift your shoulders, pull your shoulders forward. Keep working your stomach towards your legs and then fold. Now, hopefully you can see that my back is flatter, and it's still giving me a stretch in the back of the legs, but it's also getting into my lower back, which is definitely what I need today. Just let your head go, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Good. And then keep the knees bent. Allow the arms to just kind of hang, dangle, and slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Head's going to be the last thing to roll up. Keep your feet hip width apart, hands to the lower back. Inhale, push the hips forward, look up. Exhale, neutral spine. Good. Keep the feet where they are. So you're going to keep your knees stacked over the ankles, bend the knees, touch the floor, and inhale up to chair, Utkatasana. So instead of sticking your butt out, see if you can tuck the tail in, controlling the core, pulling the front ribs together. Keep the knees stacked over the ankles, working to have your knees back over them. Weights in the heels, not in the toes. Exhale a little deeper. And forward fold. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, walk it out to plank. Tuck the chin in, broaden through the shoulders. Reach back through the heels. Inhale. Exhale, slowly, chaturanga, elbows in. Let's come all the way down to the floor. Point the toes, forehead comes down. Inhale, lift, cobra. So it's a little movement. This is a nice modification if your lower back bothers you at all in up dog. Keep pushing the tops of the feet down. Roll the pubis bone into the mat and lift the chest. Exhale, lower, and push back to child. Big toes touch, knees are about the width of the mat. Hands reaching forward. Soften the jaw. And walk the hands over to the right, coming off your mat, opening up the left side, lat, the shoulder, the waist. Keep sinking the left hip towards the heel. And back to center, and over to the other side. And keep reaching with the right fingertips. And then the dual action is pushing your right hip towards that heel. Good, back to center. Lengthen forward. Good, and then inhale up to all fours. So stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Inhale, drop the belly, roll the sitting bones, and gaze up. Exhale, round, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, arch the spine, look up, and exhale, round. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Neutral spine. Keep the gaze down so the back of the neck is long. Reach the right leg up. Flex the foot and rotate so the right inner thigh is going to work towards the left inner thigh. Instead of sinking your belly and kind of caving into your torso, can you push down to lift up? Reaching back through that right heel. Lift the left hand. Using your core to stabilize yourself. Breathe, keep lengthening, reaching through those limbs. Good, and then bend the right knee, catch the inside of the foot, and kick. So yes, this is a back bend, but it's still the beginning of class, so don't over stretch. See if you can just make it about your leg. Instead of letting your knee splay out, can you keep the knee close into the midline and just kick back with that right foot? Be mindful you're not sinking into that bottom shoulder. Lift up. One more breath. Good. Lengthen forward and back. Pause. And lower the limbs. And just kind of shake it out a little, side to side, back and forth. Maybe a few little circles around one direction and the other. And then come back to all fours. Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Lift the left leg. Reach back through that left leg, working the left inner thigh to the right. Noticing the core, pushing down to lift up. Lift the right hand. Breathe. Lift the foot a little higher, and then bend the knee. Catch the inside of the foot. Keep that knee close into the midline, and kick back. Keep lifting up out of the left shoulder. One more breath. Good. Lengthen forward and back. Pause. And then lower. Shake it out a little, side to side. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Lift the hips. Exhale a little deeper. And then inhale, shoulders forward, plank. Exhale slowly, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, or you can modify for that cobra, where your arms stay bent, how we started class. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Look between the hands, walk or jump, feet to hands. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. So feet are together this time. Bend the knees, sweep the arms. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Weights in the heels, get a little lower. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale brings you up. Exhale brings you back, down dog. Left heel and right foot lunges. Inhale, warrior one. Look up, lower the hands, step back. Same exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale back. Other side, right heel in, left foot lunges. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Same exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale back. Breathe here for 5 breaths. So we're moving through Surya Namaskara B. The significance of this B sequence is to warm up. So whether you're in AC or you're cold, you're just waking up, it's the morning, whatever the case may be, it's so important to internally warm up our body. You can go to hot yoga and do all that kind of stuff, getting that external heat, but it's different from warming up internally. See if you can use your breath to do the same thing. So inhale, exhale a little deeper. Come high up onto the toes, look between the hands, and walk or jump, feet to hands. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together, bend the knees, sweep the arms. Inhale, chair. Straighten the legs, hands to the hips, heel toe the feet apart 6 inches. Bring the hands to the lower back. Instead of kind of sinking into the lower back, can you think about lifting up? As you lift up, you'll slowly start to look back, or maybe just look up, making it a standing back bend. Draw the elbows together behind the back. One more breath. Good. And then inhale, neutral spine. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. You can bend your knees again. If you feel like you're needing to get into your lower back, then bend your knees. Middle and index finger, hook the big toes. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Keep working the belly towards the legs, elbows away from one another. Breath is deep. So inhale to expand in this pose. Exhale, see if you can lengthen the spine and get deeper. One more, inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, release the toes, lower the hands, and lower to the knees. Take a moment. So we're going to get into the forearms, another place that's really important and part of our foundation. So also the fingers in the hands too. So turn your hands to face forward, your palms facing forward, and your fingers back towards your knees. And then pull, the tendency here is to kind of jack up your shoulders towards your neck. See if you can pull your shoulders down, and then try to keep your palms down on the floor. Spread through the fingers. If you need more of a stretch, you'll walk your hands forward, away from your knees. And if you still need more, you can start to bend the elbows in towards one another. But notice how your palms kind of lift, so be mindful how much you're doing that. I don't really need to do much more than this today because that CrossFit really got to me. So, you know, it's so funny because it's one of the things that I love about yoga is that every single day we roll out our mat and we face something different. And it could be stress related, it could be physical activity, emotional state of mind, anything, what we ate last night, anything can affect us and make us feel differently on the mat and in all of our poses. So I always like to look internally and see how am I dealing with it. So am I pissed off that I'm sore from a CrossFit class? No, I know that I did some stuff that I wasn't used to doing. But it's easy to get pissed, and sometimes I do, so I'm certainly no saint. But, you know, it's just interesting to notice how you're reacting to what you're experiencing on your mat. So check in, see how you're dealing with this. Let's go ahead and come up onto the palms, just kind of get into the fingers a little bit, and then slowly release. Just kind of make a fist, release that, shake out the hands. Countering that, we're going to go the other way. So palms are facing up this time. You're working the tops of your hands down. Again, those shoulders creep up. You see how mine just did. So try to pull them back. So you're opening up your collarbone. If you're at a computer or you sit at a desk or anything, the forearms is definitely a place that I know I experience tension. So see if you can enjoy this and try to release what you can here. Again, if you need more of a stretch, you'll start to bend the elbows in towards one another. And breathe. And then make a fist with the hands. Try to keep the tops of your hands down as you do that. It's kind of tricky. And then release the hands. One more. Make a fist, and then release. And slowly come up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Shake it out. Good. So I know you probably don't want to be on your hands right now, so we'll stay off of them for a moment. So just tuck your toes and come into a forward fold. Feet could be together or hip width apart. It's up to you. Legs can be straight or bent. And just grab opposite elbow. Let the upper body hang over the legs. Maybe you rock a little side to side. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. So what do I mean by that? Sometimes it's hard to kind of feel what that means. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So shoulders away from the ears. Most of us do something like this when we try to fold down. And you see how I'm tensing up everything here. So see if you can pull your shoulders away from your ears so they're reaching up. And then you're still going to get that forward fold, but you're not tensing up all your shoulders. Okay, one more. Keep the opposite elbow. Pull onto your opposite elbow. Bend the knees more, reaching the sitting bones back, the elbows forward. So your back is flat. Gaze is down, and then reach forward. Palms face each other, Ardha Utkatasana. Weights in the heels, get lower. Instead of resting your chest on your legs, just hover. So you're using your core here. One more breath. Good. Interlace the hands behind the back, look forward, and exhale, fold, hands over the head. Let your head go, tuck the chin in towards the chest. One more breath. And then draw the palms together and slowly come up. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I think there's an ice cream truck outside maybe. Inhale, look up. And then slowly release. Good. We'll do another Sarya-Namaskara B to make sure we're really warm. So come to the top of the mat, feet together, bend the knees, sweep the arms, inhale, chair. Tuck the tail, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Ground the palms, walk or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. Left heel in, right foot lunges, inhale, warrior one. So the idea is that we're moving synchronized to our breath. Exhale, lower the hands, same exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. Other side, right heel in, left foot lunges, inhale, warrior one. Lower the hands, step back, chaturanga. Inhale. And exhale. Pause here for 5 breaths. Turn the heels out. Instead of sinking and pushing your chest, a lot of times people push their chest towards the floor. And you can see me sideways, so you see how that's over-exalting in my shoulders. Now, it feels really good because I'm getting a stretch in my back, my shoulders, all this stuff. But over time, I'm actually hyperextending that joint, and it's not so good. So see if you can, in your down dog, if that's the case. Some of you might be really tight, that's not happening, and that's actually really good. But if you're flexy in your shoulders, see if you can think about lifting your armpits up and reach your hips back. So instead of kind of concaving my chest, I'm keeping it flat. And hopefully, I don't have a mirror, but I'm hoping that from my fingers to my hips, it's straight. And then from my hips to my heels, it's straight. So it's like an upside down V. Keep lifting the armpits up, rolling the triceps under. One more breath. Look between the hands and walk or jump feet to hands. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together, bend the knees, sweep the arms. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Straighten the legs, hands by the hips, Tadasana. Pause here, breathe. Maybe close your eyes. I always like to check in and notice when I close my eyes, what's going on. Am I feeling kind of wobbly? Usually I am. And I know that I have to ground myself. So ground through the feet and lift up. Keep the palms facing forward, lengthening through the arms. Good, gently open the eyes. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, look up. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale back. Right heel in, left foot lunges. Inhale, warrior one. So grounding the outside edge of your right foot, bend the left knee more, squaring your hips towards the front of the room. So you're pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. Shoulders pulling down. And open up to warrior two. So now the back of your foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Arms are out wide, shoulders pulling down. Make sure you can see your big toe on the inside of that left knee. That left knee always wants to cave in, don't let it. Keep pulling your right hip back. Good. Flip the left palm, inhale, lengthen, reach towards the front of the room. Exhale, exalted warrior. So it's easy to sometimes start to spin the chest towards the front. Resist that and keep pulling your right hip back. So it's a side opening, not a back bend. So I'm not opening up here, I'm opening up here. So you're pulling back. Good. Keep bending the left knee. Back to warrior two. Left elbow to the inside of the left knee. So use your elbow on your knee to help push the knee out to the side. Right arm up. Turn the palm to face forward, reach up over the ear. Keep reaching your right hip back. You're reaching your right inner thigh back, getting lower through that left leg. Soften the jaw, soften the face. Good. Inhale up, back to warrior two. The legs stay strong. They're not going to move. Good. Now straighten your left leg. Shorten the stance. So heel toe your back foot in. Keep grounding through the big toes. Inhale, reach towards the front, and then tilt to triangle. So the biggest misconception in triangle, I'm just going to talk about this for a second, is most people think that they're trying to get to the floor. And you see how when I go to the floor, I kind of drop everything over here. I'm caving in here, and I'm not really lengthening much, maybe a little bit through this side. So can you focus on not reaching towards the floor, but rather stacking yourself sideways? So you're going to pull that right hip back, your right shoulder back, so that everything stays stacked. It's like you're in the middle of an alleyway, the smallest alleyway in New York City, and you're trying to get in between two brick walls. I always think of that. So try to get yourself sideways, pulling that top hip back, and then tilt. And then see if you can lengthen through the left side. So instead of sinking into it, you're trying to lengthen. Good. Breathe. Gaze is up at the right thumb. If it's too much on your neck, then look down. Really good. Getting into that psoas muscle, that sideways. We're here for one more breath. Good. Gaze comes down. Bend the left knee. Keep reaching up with your right hand. Shift it forward for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Flexing the floating foot. Reaching forward through the crown of the head, back through that heel. Keep stacking yourself sideways. So that was prep to help open up this side for half moon. One more breath. Soften the left knee. Lower the right foot. Back to triangle. Good. Inhale up to standing. And just turn your left toes in. Interlace the hands behind the back. Turn the heels out so you're slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale, fold, hands over the head. Right down the midline. Keep the feet active. So you're lifting your inner arches to strengthen your feet. Let your head go, so you're tucking the chin in towards the chest. Bringing the palms together, hands over the head. It's all about your shoulders right now. So if you want to bend your knees, you can do that. One more breath. Draw your palms together. And slowly bring the hands to the lower back and come up to standing. Little baby back bend, look up. Neutral. Release the arm, shake it out, and turn your right toes out. Bend the right knee. Square the hips towards the back of the room, setting up warrior one, facing the back of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Tuck the tail, get low. Turn your left toes forward a little bit to help square your hips. Ribs together, inhale. Exhale a little deeper. And then inhale, open up to warrior two. Now you can open up the back foot. It's parallel again with the back of the mat, pulling your left hip back. Be mindful of that front knee, it's turning out. Gaze is over your front middle finger. Flip the right palm, inhale, reach. Exhale, exalted warrior. Keep bending the right knee. Again, it's not a back bend, it's a sideways, so you're getting in through the side. One more. Good. Back to warrior two. Right elbow to the inside of the knee, left arm up. See if you can get lower through the hip. So most people kind of hang on because your quads hurt, maybe not strong enough. So see if you can bend your right knee more, get lower through your legs. Pull your left inner thigh up. Pull your left hip back for that side angle stretch. Reach up over the ear with the left hand. Instead of crunching your shoulder into your ear, can you keep it soft? So you're keeping your shoulder in the joint. One more breath. Good, left arm up, back to warrior two, and then straighten the right leg. Shorten the stance. Ground through the big toes. Inhale, reach towards the back of the mat, and tilt to triangle. Again, making it a side opening, so you're pulling that left hip back and the right hip under, trying to lengthen through the right side body. Gaze could be up or down. One more. Good, gaze comes down. Bend the right knee, shift it forward for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Again, trying to stack yourself sideways, so you're pulling that left hip on top, reaching up. The floor's there if you need it, but see if you can reach up with your left hand so much that you don't need your right fingers to touch the floor. You're just floating on your right foot. It's your pedestal. One more breath. Soften the right knee, lower the left foot, straighten the leg, back to triangle. So we're just backing out of it as gracefully as possible. Good. Inhale up to standing and turn the right toes in. This time, maybe lengthen your stance a bit. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down the midline. First option, middle and index finger can hook your big toes. Second option is to grab the outer edges of your feet. So you choose. I'm going to go for the toes today. If you choose the toes, the tendency is to kind of hang on with your thumbs. So see if you can tuck your thumbs in. It's not a thumb balancing pose. It's a side or a wide angle stretch. So tuck your thumbs in. Inhale, look forward, lengthen through the front of the spine, and exhale, fold. Keep grounding the outer edges of the feet and try to shift your weight out of your heels into your toes. Might feel like you're going to somersault forward, but you won't. And if you do, you're not that far away from the ground, so it won't really hurt that much. One more breath. Good. Inhale. Release the toes. Look forward. And then bend the right knee. Walk the hands over to the right. Try to keep your heel down. It probably wants to lift, maybe, but see if you can keep that heel down. Keep turning your knee out. Lift the left toes and sink the hips. Palms come together to heart center or just stay light on your hands. You can stay here or wrap the right hand around the shin and hold hands behind your back. If you're binding, can you pull your left shoulder back, opening up your heart towards the ceiling? Maybe a nice little neck crack. I don't know if you heard that. One more breath. Keep sinking the hips, lifting the chest. Release the bind. Either stay light on your hands or keep the palms to heart center. And as slowly and lowly as possible, like you're in Mission Impossible, and there's those red lines above your head. Switch. Move slow. Flex the right foot. Try to keep that left heel down. Sometimes it helps to kind of move your foot and adjust to get your heel so it's under your knee. Sink the hips, lift the chest, wherever you're at. You might stay with your hands down, palms together, or wrap. Breathe. Again, whichever option you like, keep sinking the hips and lift the chest. One more. Good. Release the hands and slowly lower all the way down to the sitting bones. Bring your left foot to the right inner thigh. Peel the flesh away from the right hip. We're going to square off towards the right leg. So pull the right ribs back, the left ribs forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, Janu Shirshasana. Grabbing whatever's available. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, fold. So this is another forward fold. You're still trying to work your stomach, your torso towards that straight leg. And then you're visualizing the crown of your head touching the top of the foot. So you're trying to lengthen your torso out. One more breath. Good. Inhale, slowly come up. And switch. So just straighten your left leg and bring your right foot to the left inner thigh. Peel the flesh away from that hip. Flex the foot. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold over the straight leg. Again, pulling that left hip back, the left ribs back, and fold. Soften the jaw. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Good. Inhale up. I don't know how I ended up here, but just cross your ankles. Bring the hands to the top of the mat in a plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale back. Sink the heels. Come high up under the toes. And then sink the heels again. Again, be mindful of your shoulders. Keep lifting the armpits up, hips back. And then look between the hands. Walk or jump the feet all the way through. So you're going to land on your sitting bones with your feet up. Good. Try something like that. Kind of pull the flesh away so those little pokey bones that you sit on are grounded in the floor. First option, so if this is too much, you hold on to the backs of your legs. Second option, you'll start to straighten your legs. Third option, legs are completely straight. Ooh, yep, if you're shaking, you're doing it right. And lift up. So instead of focusing so much on your legs, make sure you're also not caving into the back. So your back isn't slouching, rounding. You're actually up tall, opening up the chest, keeping your back flat. So if a flat back is only going to happen with your knees bent, then do that. Choose that. It's so much better for you. Maybe just start to work to lift your heels. I'm not going to straighten my legs today. I'm just not feeling it. It's okay. Know what day it is today, right? What do you need? What's going to be best, most healing for you? Knowing when to push yourself and when you need to kind of back off a little bit. Lift a little higher. Good, and then slowly lower your feet all the way down. So your feet are going to be in front, hip width apart. Lower your hands and bring your right foot to the left knee. Push the knee out, and then this might be enough. So we're getting into the hip. If you're feeling it in your hip, you stay here. If it's tricky to stay seated with your chest up, then you'll just roll onto your back. That's what we did last week. And you're getting in through the hip this way. Otherwise, you'll stay seated. And if you need more of a stretch, you'll start to bring your hips towards your foot and maybe walk your hands closer into your back. You're still pushing the right knee away from your chest, flexing the right foot to keep that active. Breathe. Soften the jaw. We're here for a few breaths because these are our hips. It's the biggest part of our body. I always say it holds the most tension. It does. We have to take a little extra time to get into our hips. One more breath. Good. Now slowly back out of it. If you're lying on your back, go ahead and come up. Meet us up there. Fingers are going to face forward. Keep your legs as they are. Keep dropping your right knee and lift your hips. So it's a modified reverse table. Keep dropping that right knee as you lift your hips. And if it's okay on your neck, look back. Good. Look forward. Keep this shape and slowly send your hips through your hands. So it's a nice core strengthener. lift a little higher, and then come back in. So it's that reverse table again. Drop your hip, drop your knee, lift your hips. Again, look back. Look forward, send the hips through, breathe, lift. Maybe you can lift your left heel for a hot second. Ah! And then lower. Good. Feet down, scoot the butt in a little closer. Other side. So left ankle to the right knee. This side might be different. You might need a little more space. I know it's much tighter for me, so choose if you want to roll on your back or stay upright, and then choose how close you want to get. You'll start to bring your hips closer and your hands closer. Keep pushing your left knee away from the chest and flexing that left foot. Breathe. Try to be mindful of where your shoulders go. If they're cranking forward or up towards the ears, see if you can kind of pull them back. Might get a little stretch in your shoulders too. One more breath. Good. Slowly inch your way out of it. Come up to seated, if you're not yet. And then turn your fingers to face forward. Keep flexing the left foot and lift the hips. Lift the hips until maybe you can release your head back. Keep dropping that left knee. Good, look forward, send the hips through the hands. Lift everything up if possible, and then swing your hips through again. For reverse table, lift a little higher. Send the hips through one last time, lift. See if you can lift that right foot for a second. And lower. Some days it's easier than others, right? Whew. Okay, soles of the feet together. Bring your heels close into your hips. Middle and index finger, hook the big toes. Pull the elbows in close to the body. Inhale, lift the chest up. So it's kind of like a little bit of a back bend. You're kind of arching the spine, pulling yourself up. Shoulders back and down. Use your inner thighs. So instead of bending your arms and pulling forward, using your arms to push your legs down, see if you can use your inner thighs to push your knees down. Good, and then release the big toes. Bring your feet out a little further forward. Forearms come under the shins. Grab the tops of the feet and work the forehead towards the heels. So you're just going to round the back this time. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. And just breathing in between the shoulder blades. One more breath. Good. And slowly come up. Cross the ankles. Roll over the knees. Vinyasa. So find your way to plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale back. Walk the hands a little closer to the feet. Bend the right knee. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right foot, shin, whatever you got, and straighten that right leg. Now pull the left shoulder under the right and gaze under the right armpit. So you're just kind of adding a twist to your down dog. Keep sinking the heels. And pull that left hip back. One more. Good. Release. Down dog, and then bend the left knee. Right hand to the outer edge of the left foot, shin. Straighten that left leg and look under the left armpit. Sink the heels. Good. Unwind. Come high up onto all toes and then sink the heels down. Look forward. Walk or jump all the way through to seated. Good. So both legs are straight out in front. Peel the flesh away from the sitting bones. Hands next to the hips. So we use this Dandasana as a transitional pose, but it is such a good core strengthener. Really helps for posture. So let's stay here for a few breaths. So the palms are going to face, the fingers facing forward, palms are down, right next to your hip joints. Flex the feet, draw the toes towards the kneecaps so much that you can lift your heels up off the floor, and your legs are now engaged. Now see if you can roll your inner thighs towards one another. Keep flexing the feet. Tuck the chin in towards the chest a little bit, but not too much that now the crown of your head is reaching kind of forward. You still want the crown of your head to lift up. And draw the belly button in towards the spine, not by holding the breath, but by using your core. Breathe. Good, and then inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, Paschimottanasana. So if you notice, this is the same thing we started. We're just seated now. So maybe bend your knees if you want more lower back. I know a lot of you complain about lower back pain. So if you want to get more into your lower back, you're gonna bend and pull your chest forward. If you want more hamstrings, maybe you'll straighten your legs. So you choose, but try to keep focusing on lengthening the spine, on flattening out the spine, not rounding it. So you want to look at lengthen, pull the shoulders back, and exhale, fold. Good. Inhale up. Bring the right foot down. It's a few inches away from the left inner thigh. Right shoulder is going to come on the inside of the knee. Keep flexing your left foot. Use your left hand to push your torso forward and then wrap and bind the arm around the right knee. Keep flexing your left foot and then roll so your nose is going to touch your knee or somewhere in that vicinity. So you're just working in that direction. Doesn't matter if it ever touches or not. If you can't hold your hands, grab a towel or shirt or something, and you can hold your hands with a towel in between, okay? So just get a bind somehow. Really nice getting into the shoulder blades. Keep tucking the chin in towards the chest. And then release the bind. Inhale up. And bring that right foot to the outer edge of the left knee. Right hand behind the back, left arm up. Inhale, lengthen. Hook the elbow to the knee and twist. So inhale. Exhale, twist. Keep flexing the left foot like you were standing on it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. One more. Good. Unwind and straighten out the right leg. Just kind of shake out the legs and bring the left knee in. It's a few inches away from the right inner thigh. Your heel is down. Use your right hand to push, lengthen yourself forward, and then wrap and bind. Flex the right foot and fold nose to knee. Keep tucking the chin in towards the chest to breathe in between the scapulas. Whoopsie. One more. Good. Release the bind. Inhale up. And bring the left foot to the outer edge of the right knee. Left hand behind the back. Right arm up. Inhale. Hook the elbow to the knee and twist. Inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Gazes towards the back wall. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Unwind. Cross the ankles, roll over the knees. Vinyasa. Inhale up. And exhale back. Keep grounding the heels. Exhale a little deeper. Look between the hands and walk or jump all the way through. Lying on the back this time. Hug the knees into the chest, rock a little side to side. Pull the shoulders down. And then lower the feet onto the mat. So feet are hip width apart. So sometimes we wonder, why do we feel so good after our yoga practice? It's because of course, all the breathing and all the moving, and that feels good. But one of the main reasons too is for the back bends. So the back bends are energizing, they're heart openers, and they're really good for us. So first back bend I'm gonna offer is a bridge. Even if you're gonna do a normal back bend, please just do this bridge first. So bridge looks like this. So you're gonna ground your feet, bring them in a little bit. Sometimes people keep them way far forward and then you have a hard time lifting. So bring your feet in, probably a little closer than you think, so that you can lift, so you can stay strong through your legs and lift the hips up. Keep lifting the hips up. You can prop yourself under, so you can prop yourself up on your elbows if you have that space, or maybe if you have a block at home and you want to put a block underneath your lower back, that's really a nice option. Or you can interlace your hands and kind of get into the shoulders a little more. So I like to kind of rock my shoulders underneath and then lift up through the hips. Instead of tucking your chin down, you want to lift your chin up, keeping your neck neutral. Keep your gaze up. So if you're trying to look at the TV and see what the heck I'm talking about, see if you can listen and try to either come down and look to see, and then go back up, or just listen. Breathe, lift a little higher, and then slowly lower down. So we're gonna do another back bend. Could be that same thing, or you can set up a wheel. So wheel is hands come under the shoulders, and then you're gonna come to the crown of your head. So if you've never done this before, watch me first and then I'll walk you through it, okay? So your hands come under the shoulders, try to draw your elbows in, ground through your feet, come to the top of the head first, try to pull your elbows in, knees in, and then push up. Breathe, you can start to walk your hands closer to your feet if you want more of a back bend. Keep drawing your big toes together. One more breath, lift a little higher. Tuck your chin and slowly lower down. Good, so that's a lot. If you're not there yet today, leave it out and just, like I said, you did that bridge. That's enough, that's okay. Bring your legs up for Supta Dandasana. So it's a nice spine neutralizer after those back bends. So your hands come next to the hips, tuck the chin in towards the chest a bit. Work on straightening your legs. If you have really open hamstrings, you might start to bring your feet forward, but I don't want you to do that right now. So see if you can keep your ankles over your hips, and imagine that someone's pushing your feet down. So instead of bringing your feet forward, I actually want you to think about pushing your feet down so that your hips are really in their sockets. And then you're pushing, everything that's touching the mat is pushing into the mat. If you're shaking, you're doing it properly, because this isn't easy. It looks easy, but it's not. If you really activate everything, can you draw the belly button in towards the spine and breathe? Now, this is an inversion. So an inversion is anything with our feet up over our hips and our heart. It's so good for metabolism, blood circulation, because we're getting all that blood that's been in our feet all day, and it's coming throughout the rest of our body. So let this be enough. This might be a good enough inversion today. If you know you can go further, you're going to push into your hands and lift your feet up over your head, coming into plow shoulder stance. Any of you with neck injuries or anything at all, leave this out. Also, another option, if you're at home and you want to bring your feet up a wall behind you, so the wall would be right here, that's a really nice option too, okay? So if you're going for the shoulder stance, watch me first. It looks like this. So you're not trying to look at the TV. and figure out what to do. So keep your gaze neutral, look up, and slowly push into the hands. Bring your feet might not touch the floor today, that's okay, go where they can. And then you're gonna bring your hands to your lower back. Maybe kind of rock your shoulders underneath one another, and then lift one foot or both. Keep lifting up. Sometimes it's nice to kind of open up the legs, kind of helicopter legs. Feels good sometimes, maybe bending one knee at a time. You can bring the soles of the feet together. And then slowly, when you've been here for at least 10 of your own breaths, I'm going to stay here for 2 more. Slowly start to lower the feet back over the head. Lower the feet back over the head. Keep your gaze neutral. Straighten out the arms. Use your hands to roll yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Try to keep your back as flat as possible, rolling down. When you feel the weight shift into your legs, lift your chest for a forward fold. So anytime you do any type of inversion like that, I'm going to offer a forward fold. It's so good just to neutralize the spine, to come up out of that and fold. Inhale up. And then either come to a comfortable seated position or a full lotus. So this is full lotus with your feet in the creases of your hips. If you can't do that today, then just cross your legs somehow. Walk back, drop to the elbows, kind of like you're hanging at the beach, but then walk your elbows forward more so it's very awkward. And then inhale, open up the chest, bring the crown of the head all the way down to the floor. If you're getting stuck and the crown of your head isn't touching the floor, then walk your elbows forward more. Slowly come up. So I couldn't really talk in that. That was kind of awkward, but you're opening up the throat. So let this feel good. Opening up the throat chakra, how we communicate. So if you're feeling like you can't communicate properly, the way you want to, this pose is so good. If you're still there, take 1 more breath and then slowly come out of it and just kind of roll down. Release the legs, hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side, and then straighten out the legs, just ending with a reclining twist before we go into Shavasana. So straighten out the right leg, hug the left knee in, and twist across the body over to the right. Look over to the left, trying to keep that left shoulder down. Good, and then back to center and switch. Straighten out the left leg. Bring the right knee in, inhale, and exhale, twist. Gaze over to the right, trying to keep that shoulder down. Good, back to center, Shavasana. So let the palms fall open, allow the feet to flop out. Now some of you exercise junkies may not see the value in doing nothing here in this Shavasana, but see if you can just trust me. And trust the process and know that this is so good and that we're just here for probably 2 minutes out of your day. So if this is challenging to do nothing, then this is exactly what you need, to do nothing. So inhale, open up the mouth and just vocal exhale. 1 more, inhale. And let go of that Ujjayi breath, holding on to controlling the breath in any way, and just naturally allow the breath to come in and out of the belly, the chest, the nose, and the mouth. See if you can feel the support of the floor, the ground. And just close your eyes. A shirt, something over your face is nice sometimes. And you've put in a lot of work today, so allow yourself to receive the benefits of the work you just put in. Allow your body to absorb the healing benefits of this practice. Now, some of you like to stay here for 5, 10, 30 minutes. If this is in your practice and you want to stay in meditation and do absolutely nothing, please stay there as long as you want. If not, go ahead and reach your hands up over your head, lengthen through the feet, the hands, hug the knees into the chest eventually. Rock a little side to side or up and down. And we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. So just sealing the practice, bring the hands to Anjali Mudra as a symbol that we recognize the divinity within ourselves and one another. Thank you so very much for tuning in, practicing with me today, and have a beautiful, blessed day. Namaste.